Hey you geeks! Just finished Crooked Kingdom. Oh boy, what a ride. If Six of Crows was a standard heist with a lot of flair, Crooked Kingdom is standard flair with a lot of heists. The crew rolls from one job to another, just on the brink of disaster until...
It's over. Go home.
The beginning is great. The end is admirable, though they fit together oddly. It's a book being too tricksy for its own good, but Bardugo got me in a few places.
Good show. Jolly good show.
All in all, the character work was thoroughly satisfying. This book provided a small, satisfactory jaunt through the canals of Ketterdam. Though it's nothing spectacular, I laughed, I cried, I had fun. On to spoilers! Characters. Some of the voice actors actually said Annika's name right this time. I suppose I can't judge them too harshly because names will be slaughtered in this video. I've just known too many Annikas not to say anything. Kaz. Of all the talk about the gang being the toughest thugs in the barrel, Kaz is by far the toughest, even though he only kills the most despicable scum. Bardugo cleverly reveals that scene from Wylan's perspective, slowly justifying what drove Kaz to murder. Extortion of a vulnerable woman.
There are some who would call him heroic.
Kaz doesn't think of himself as a hero because he threatens everyone from small children to Pekka frickin' Rollins. But he can barely stand to touch them, let alone harm them. Their property he's less chivalrous about. But it's the age-old question.
Are we good guys or bad guys?
Whatever he is now king of the canals.
It's my city, I'm the king of New York.
Beware all who enter here. Inej, the overpowered damsel kept in check only by the insanely scrupulous Jan van Eck. After the crew free her, she finds a new friend to play with, the insane Dunyasha, who is so fierce she forces Inej to think and not just rely on her impeccable instincts. Inej doesn't kill Dunyasha, but she does force her to fall to her death. Off a cathedral, Frollo style. Inej's relationship with Kaz finally starts. They come to the mutual understanding that they can barely stand to touch each other. Kaz can't stand flesh, and Inej has her menagerie scars. I like that Bardugo added this detail. Too many fictional battered women seem to have no problem flitting from bed to bed. From the king's assassin, Inej sets sail to rid Ketterdam and the seas of the worst sort of filth, leaving Kaz as the lover stuck ashore.
Somewhere beyond the sea.
I like it. Matthias is the perfect argument for why trad men are the best. So romantic and considerate. He forces himself to grow more and accept Grisha, unlike everyone else who fights their growth until the last possible minute. Matthias sees his flaw and works to fix it. No one asked him to. If that wasn't enough, the whole story with his wolf was just beautiful. Lopen and I loved it and hated it. It set up why he died.
He was taught to hate. All he needs is a little bit of kindness.
His desire to find the broken and help them, even at great risk to himself. Unfortunately, he has worse luck than Captain Von Trapp.
You'll never be one of them.
Lieutenant!
Matthias is far, far too good for these people. Too good for this world. Which is probably why he had to die. Nina has quite the comeback for a girl who just gotten over magical meth. She starts lost and afraid, struggling to find purpose. Discovering her necromancy powers was reasonably both pleasing and terrifying to her and the reader.
I see dead people.
Her new powers match her new role not as a Ravkan soldier or a Beryl seductress, but as a missionary to Fjerdan. Maybe she'll find Matthias's wolf? One can only hope. Wylan. We finally get his and his father's backstory. Jan van Eyck just puts the evil in evil genius. Locking away his wife, insanity of Mary Gerard style, trying to kill his son twice, and of course, breaking his word to Kaz. The deal is the deal and all that. Wylan's growth from being embarrassed about what he cannot do to being proud of what he can was so satisfying. A budding demolition expert, he can make anything, anytime, anywhere.
Those guys, you know, those guys with skills.
Skills?
Yeah. You send them out into the wilderness with a pocket knife and a Q-tip and they build you a shopping mall.
Either the other demo guys in the barrel must be some real crackerjack chemists, or Wylan's skill has been underplayed. Jasper provides a wonderful foil to Wylan. Jasper and his father relationship suffers from caring about each other almost too much. Coin is there even when his son doesn't deserve it, and provides these kids with some much needed adult supervision.
Stop right this instant! What do you think you're doing?
Jasper and Wylan's romance was the second same-sex relationship I've read in YA, and the first one I could follow. They were clearly attracted to each other. Their words and deeds showed that they cared for each other as friends, but also more. The accidental kiss with Kuei was a little bit melodramatic, but Bardugo was able to keep everyone in character and not overplay the drama. World building. We finally get to see Ketterdam and learn how it works as a city. Not just merchants, thugs, and beat cops, but also middle class, farmers, and lawyers.
All the lonely people, where do they all come from?
We also get to hear about Ravka, which I'm sure was super exciting for everyone who started the Grishaverse at the beginning, but for me, who started in the middle, not knowing the roadmap at all, I feel like I trod across an unmarked spoiler. Alina Sarkov dies. Magic system. No matter how many explanations Bardugo offers, I'm still not certain how withdrawal from magic meth transforms a Grisha's power from over the living to the dead. It's not intuitive to me at all. But sure, if she says surviving Perem distorts a Grisha's power, then it does. And she sticks to it remarkably well. And yet magic solves Nina and Jasper's character defects. Of course, suppressing magic would cause problems only magic could solve, but Grisha powers do not seem to come with any downsides, which makes them unrealistic.
All magic comes with a price.
Nina and Jasper just have to use their powers to heal, while poor Kaz and Inej have years of slow and steady relationship growing ahead of them. Plot. Here is where Bardugo fell flat for me. The setup promised a showdown between Nina's army of the dead, the Council of Tides, the gangs of Ketterdam, Van Eyck, and the Flying Shoe.
Now fly! Fly!
We get some of those in the finale. Only Inej faced the foe at the top of her game. Van Eyck's slow unhinging made him an easier mark by the end of the book. Also, the Shoe's limited resources logically made them less of a threat. But where were the real Council of Tides during the auction? Their lovely threat to Brecker at the end showed they weren't uninterested. Did they just show up at the auction in plain clothes and not do anything?
Bummer. Huh? This is a bummer, man. That's a bummer.
However, the finale we got was brilliant. I honestly thought Wylan had spilled the beans to his father the first time and was tiffed. I had no idea what to make of the tides bursting in and declaring that the merchants were in cahoots with the shoe. However, once Jan van Eyck took center stage to hang himself, I realized. So by the time we got to Inej saying Kuwait had to die, I was like, sure. Jasper bending the bullet was cool, and Nina spreading fake plague was too soon.
There's just too much that time cannot erase.
But in the end, it was just Kaz and Pekka Rollins locked in a battle of wits. And Kaz used the same trick he pulled back at the beginning of Six of Crows. Threaten the person the Mark loves most. And it works. Like any dastardly villain, Van Eyck's own mouth undid himself. He's the clever man who outsmarted himself trying to outsmart Kaz.
Fascinating to watch you turn into one giant basket case, not knowing where or when BJ was going to strike next.
When the whole thing's over, the gang goes their separate ways. Probably never to reunite, but maybe, somewhere, Bardugo will finally deliver on her Grisha v Terminator promises. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you would like to see more. Your patronage is greatly appreciated.